At 11, the man accused of randomly gunning down a beloved Seattle business owner appeared in court just a short time ago. He's accused of shooting 34-year-old Eina Kwon and her husband. Kwon was pregnant. She and her baby both died. Her husband survived.
Tuesday morning, Eina and Kwon take their usual drive, heading to the restaurant they built together. Eina, 8 months pregnant, is just days away from giving birth to their baby girl, Evelyn Kwon. At home, their little boy waits to meet his new sister. The car comes to a stop at a red light. A man comes out of nowhere, running straight at their car. He has a gun in his hand. Without pausing, he fires every bullet through the driver's window until the gun runs out. Eina is struck in both the head and chest. Sung is wounded in the arm. Doctors try their hardest. They even perform an emergency C-section to deliver baby Evelyn. Eina doesn't survive the operation. Baby Evelyn never takes her first breath. And the man responsible for their deaths? In March 2026, the court declared him not guilty. No prison time, no murder charge. He admitted to it right away. The decision, not guilty due to insanity. If you're already angry at a system that lets killers avoid punishment, here's what you need to do. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another case that shows how broken the justice system is. Like and share this video with everyone who needs to see it. Share your thoughts below. Do you think claiming mental illness should let someone who killed a pregnant woman and her unborn child skip prison? Be real with me. Say what you're thinking. I go through every comment. Now let's break down who did this. His name is Cordell Gooseby. He's 30 from Chicago and already a convicted felon. He had passed felony charges in Illinois tied to drugs and weapons. By law, but he wasn't supposed to even touch a gun ever again. Yet that day, he showed up with a stolen 9mm. Security footage caught him sprinting straight towards Eina and Sung's white Tesla. He already had the gun out, already aiming it, before he even made it to the car. No fight, no backstory. He didn't know them at all, and they didn't know him. When officers caught him just minutes later, he raised his hands and admitted it. No attempt to run, no struggle. He just confessed right there. During the same interview, he told detectives that someone in a different car had warned him the people in the white Tesla were after him. He also talked to the walls and ceiling as if people were hidden inside them. That white Tesla belonged to Eina and Sung. They were headed to work, driving in their own lane. He chose them. What the justice system did afterward is the part that will leave you stunned. Now let's rewind to that red light. June 13th, 2023. 4th Avenue and Lenora Street in Belltown. The time? 11:15 in the morning. The streets buzzed with activity. People hurried about. Cars filled the road. This wasn't some shadowy alley or a quiet little side street. It was a busy main road in complete daylight. Everywhere you looked, there were eyes. Yet Cordell Gooseby strode right into the thick of it. He pulled out a gun and started shooting at a car. Inside sat a pregnant woman. 6 shell casings dropped by Eina's door. All 6. He acted without hesitation, without pause. He fired until the gun was empty. Sung got hit in the arm. Eina was shot several times. Doctors rushed her to the hospital and performed an emergency C-section to try and save baby Evelyn. Both Eina and Evelyn died. Now, here's what makes this even more heartbreaking. Washington state law prevented prosecutors from filing a homicide charge for Evelyn. The law applies if the baby was born alive. Since there was no proof that Gooseby even knew Eina was pregnant, prosecutors didn't file any charges for the baby. Evelyn didn't get justice. No charges, no trial. It's like she didn't even exist. Police caught Gooseby just minutes after the shooting. He raised his hands, locked eyes with them, and admitted, "I did it. I did it." Seems like an open and shut case, right? There was a confession. Surveillance footage, 6 shell casings, and a stolen gun found on a convicted felon. This should have been straightforward. But then the psych evaluations flipped everything upside down. Doctors uncovered a lengthy history of severe mental health issues. They found evidence of heavy drug abuse. He had past interactions with psychiatric services. His mind had been falling apart long before that Tuesday morning even arrived. For months, the courts debated whether he was stable enough to face trial. He had to go through a program to restore his competency, just for the case to proceed at all. Then everything shifted. Each side brought in its own psychiatric experts. The defense had theirs. The prosecution had theirs too. These folks had one goal: to make sure Cordell Gooseby paid for what he did to Eina and Evelyn. They studied the same confession, the same crime scene, and watched the same footage. Every piece of evidence was reviewed by both teams, but they both came to one conclusion. Cordell Gooseby was insane when he pulled the trigger. Both sides agreed on it. Because of that, there was no trial, no jury, and no prosecution battling the defense. Two groups of experts saying the same thing. The verdict, not guilty by reason of insanity, was finalized on March 20th, 2026. He was sent to a state psychiatric hospital. Not a cell in prison. A hospital. And here's the question people can't stop asking since the verdict came out. If even the prosecution's expert called him insane, who stood up for Eina in that courtroom? Who stood up for Evelyn, the baby who didn't even get recognized as a victim? Prosecutors claimed they couldn't do more. With their own expert declaring him insane, they said they had no legal case to press. But Eina Kwon still returns home every night to the restaurant he and Eina once dreamed up and built. To a little boy who wonders where his mum is. To a life split in two at a red light on an ordinary Tuesday morning. The man who committed the act is in a hospital. He's receiving treatment. There's a slim chance he might ask to be released someday. If he does, many state and court groups would need to approve it. But nothing promises he'll stay in that hospital forever. Nothing at all. Tell us in the comments, does this feel like justice to you? Or is the system just falling apart? A man with a criminal record prohibited from owning a gun got his hands on a stolen one. He walked right up to a random car on a crowded street and fired at a pregnant woman, killing her and her unborn baby. He admitted to it on the spot. But the ruling? Not guilty. Here's the part that should alarm everyone. There wasn't a trial. No jury reviewed the evidence or argued the details. No fierce debates from opposing sides filled that courtroom. Experts agreed, and that was all it took. So, this leaves a question no one wants to say out loud. What's stopping someone from committing a crime claiming mental illness and ending up in a hospital instead of behind bars? Where do we draw the line? Who decides where it goes? And when the system ties its own hands, who steps in to protect those hurt the most? Gooseby might spend his entire life in that psychiatric hospital, but he also has the option to ask for more freedom. And here's the catch. The same system that just found him not guilty decides on that request. Eina doesn't get to ask for anything. Evelyn doesn't either. Every morning, Eina Kwon wakes up without his wife and without his daughter. He runs the restaurant they built together. But now, he does it alone. At home, their little boy will grow up and wonder why his mom isn't there. And when he asks, the answer will be devastating. A stranger picked their car at a red light, and the court decided it wasn't their fault. This verdict shows the reality of the situation. If this case made you rethink things, that's good. It's supposed to. Hit the like button. Subscribe today. Share this with your friends. Leave a comment below. Does the insanity defense help those with mental illness, or does it shield killers?
You can deal drugs anywhere on our streets, and you can camp out anywhere on our streets, and it's okay. And it has led to this event, a pure execution of a wonderful small business owner.